So, brothers, you're currently struggling with, does she like me? What can I do? Look, it's very simple. I will be sharing in this video about how you are going to approach the subject of the opposite sex liking you. I think I must clearly state that it is not evil to desire companionship. God designed that man and woman should have a desire to want to come together. It might not make sense for the logical mind because we are so different. We have different idiosyncrasies, we have different settings, we have different mindsets on things. You don't find an average man and woman thinking the same way. Some people will argue that men are more logical, women are more emotional. I believe that we're a mixture of both. But that's a talk for another day. However, it is essential to note that the desire for companionship, for relationship, is a gift of God. First of all, to ensure that man is not alone, because that was the first thing I said was not good. It is not good that man should be alone. I will make for him an helpmate. Be it, God is very relational, and he knew that if man decided to stay by himself, he would not fulfill the full potential of who he can be. Then the other reason why God insisted, or God designed man to be relational or to seek companionship, is to ensure procreation. Without the coming together with man and a woman, there is no birthing. There is no conjugation that brings forth children. And that is why any alternative kind of marriage cannot work to ensure that the world or the population of the world stays sustainable. So when a man and a woman desires to come together, there can now be procreation according to the law of God. Now, you like a lady and you don't know if she likes you. The first thing that you ought to do as a believer and as a man is to take it to God in prayer. There is nothing that is too big to be taken to prayer or too small to be taken to God in prayer. God desires that we seek him diligently. He is the rewarder of those that seek him diligently. And this matter of man and woman coming together is something that God created as an institution. It's the first institution that God created, so that man leaves his father and his mother and cleaves to his wife, and they become one flesh, and they shall be called husband and wife. So I want to believe that you're not just looking for someone to date, but you're looking for someone that, God willing, you can end up together, getting married and building a family together. So take it to God in prayer and ask him to search your heart and know your thoughts. Sometimes we get carried away by what we see. There are things that you don't know that only God can reveal to you. That lady that you are desiring because of how her shape looks, or how her face is so beautiful, or how she speaks so softly. You don't know what lies underneath the facade. Now, that's not to say that anybody is bad. We all have our different flaws, but it's important to know that we cannot judge by the seeing of the eyes. The Bible says that we know we not any man after the flesh. So take it to God in prayer intentionally. I think the second thing to do is now to report to accountability partners, most likely and most advisably people that are older than you, people that have no vested interest in such, of the same sex. I had to add that. People that have no vested interest of the same sex. For instance, you should have a male mentor if you're a man, or a female mentor if you're a woman. People who have no vested interest in that relationship. Most times it is hard to advise someone that is already in love to, should I say, think straight. Because when emotions and logic come together, emotions are going to win over logic any day, anytime, except for exceptional situations. So it is essential that you go and seek advice. The Bible says that in the multitude of counsel there is safety. I will say it again. In the multitude of counsel there is safety. Good counsel, I must add. So from people of the same sex, when they look at it, they are not invested in the relationship emotionally like you, so they can be able to make much more informed decisions. So they can begin to ask questions that you will not ask. They can even speak to the person for you and get to find out their mind. So don't forget, the first thing is to seek the mind of God about this relationship. And when you are now convinced about the mind of God to a level, you might not get complete certainty. It is now wise to submit it to higher authorities who will be accountable, who you are accountable to rather, who can vet your reasons. They would ask you questions first. They will set your heart with their questions. Then they can now proceed to speak to the person. The third thing to do when you like somebody, especially as a man, is to ensure that before you speak to them, you learn how to communicate. Communication to the opposite sex is not the same thing as communication with the same sex. If you're a man, you cannot tell a guy, Alpha, I did, and that's how we get ourselves in Nigeria. You see hello to the person says hello to you, and then most guys, we don't even bother to know each other's names. We just call ourselves chairman, we call ourselves nicknames, and we are good with that. I have been in university, and for 5 years, I didn't know some people's names. All I would just see when I see them, I would just hail them and I would go away. Women are different. They are very relational. They are very intentional about details. So it is wise that you learn the art of communication. And communication essentially is a medium to ensure that what you are saying is the same thing that is being heard. Some people they will claim to be communicating, but what they are saying is not being heard or received in the same way. And communication has failed unless the person that you're speaking to or you're communicating with has received what your intention was. So communication must be very clear and concise. When you've been permitted by your authority figure to speak to them, ensure that you approach with respect. Every gender needs respect. Every person needs respect. Nobody is averse to respect. Respect is also reciprocal. So approach them with respect. Appear properly and make your intentions very clear. You could start with a greeting. Hello, my name is this. Proper introduction. This is where I come from. Okay? And then you tell them, I would like to be your friend, and I would like for you to consider that. If you would like something more than a friendship, you say that I would like to be your friend, or I would like to build a relationship with you. Be very clear about your intentions from the beginning. Some people will enter through the friendship zone and then they would hope that the thing is going to develop into something more. But it is dangerous. I think that now goes to one thing that I believe very much. I don't believe in meeting someone for the first time and then asking them out, or should I say, trying to get too intimate with them. I believe very much in allowing relationships to take their course. So you meet somebody, you like them, try your best to make sure that you are in their circles and get to know them, get to know their friends, speak with them, no matter how mundane or random it is. Try to get a feel of them. Don't be a stranger when you are coming to meet them to ask them for such an intimate thing. Of course, it goes without saying that it will be wise to meet them in a relaxed place, or to ask them to go with you, maybe for tea or for a drink or whatever they call it. If they're willing to go with you, it's a score. And I'm speaking to men. As a woman, it's not expected, in my culture at least, that you ask a man out for tea or for a drink. If you do that, it's likely going to be someone that you know very well, that you built a relationship with. That is not wrong. But when if you meet a stranger and you begin to ask them that kind of thing, you are going to be termed to be loose. And usually, in most cultures in the world today, the men are expected to be the ones that would go and solicit a relationship or companionship with the woman. So you see what I'm saying? After in a relaxed atmosphere, speak to them about your intentions very clearly. I believe they will respect you if you can speak with clarity, without lewdness, without trying to infer anything sexual or overt. Speak to them very clearly about what your intentions are. For instance, when I was meeting my wife, I spoke to her that this is my intention for you. I really like you very much, and I would like for us to build a relationship, God willing, ending up in marriage. This is my vision for my life. This is my plan for us. It is my hope that in this year we'll be able to make significant progress, and if possible, get married, God willing. And I stated every single thing to her as much as I could. After I didn't tell her every single part of my life story, but I made sure that she got a nice overview of who I am and what I stand for. My beliefs in sexual purity, my beliefs in personal development and growth, my aims and my objectives in life. I made it very clear to her, so she could either take it or leave it. And that was done at a restaurant. And then by the grace of God, she was able to see. And I came with a gift too. And I think that goes to the point of generosity. As a man, be generous. Don't be stingy. The gift of a man maketh way for him. So please learn to give gifts. Thoughtful gifts. Thoughtful gifts. When you are thoughtful in your giving of gifts, you are scoring more points with the opposite sex. That's a bonus for you. And then when all that is done, leave the rest to God. Don't begin to pester them with calls and SMS and texts. No, avoid that. Maintain your respect, your self-respect, and let them make decisions by themselves. Don't try to force them to make a decision. Leave it in the hand of God and let God have his way. I really pray that by the mercies of God you would find value in some of the things that have been shared here, and the Lord will open your eyes to know how to deal with specific persons in specific ways. But these are general principles on how to speak. Don't forget, first of all, ensure that you pray to God about it. Second, submit to an authority figure. Thirdly, when you've gotten a go ahead from them, please go to them respectfully. If possible, ask them out on a date, on a place where you can sit down. It doesn't need to be expensive. It could be a park, and onboarding your mind to them. Let them know how you feel, what you intend to do. Don't say you want to build a friendship when you really want to hopefully marry them one day. Make it very clear to them in a very respectful and clear manner. They will respect you for it, and if they don't respect you for it, they were never the one. So sincerity is always a virtue anywhere in the world. And when you're done with that, leave it. Leave it. And don't forget to hold a gift. It always helps. It shows that you truly are invested in what you're doing. I pray that God will teach you on how you go forward, even with your love interest, and it will strengthen you with the fortitude to bear whatever responses that you receive. I look forward to hearing how you intend to go forward with this and what your results are. Come and share the testimonies here so that many of us can learn and become better for it. Until next time, please like, share, subscribe, and we'll meet in the next video. God bless you.